Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. I look like I'm part of the Detroit Red Wings street team, showing up to various, promotional events, giving out Red Wings tickets to fans for showing their Red Wings colors or something like that. With this bright red hoodie that just pops like you wouldn't believe. And the bright red Red Wings hat with white stripes. This is the cornerstone of my wardrobe. Hoodies. Tyler writes, "Good morning, high school sports enthusiasts." That is a nod to yesterday's hard-hitting radio show where I was relegated to sit in another room. I couldn't even be in the same room. I was not allowed to be in the studio for fear of something. The concern is, huge Bill Simonson is afraid that when the two of us are together, something sideways will occur that could offend the guest. The 3-hour show started with 2-ish hours of high school sports talk. Why? Long story. We don't need to get into the details of why. But all you need to know is that when I went in there, Billy said, "All right, I'm going to have you in the other room there." I felt like I was about 11 years old. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yeah, we're going to be talking high school sports. And he didn't come out and say it, but I'm like, it's fine. I get it. Now, I love being on the radio, and Bill and I, it's great fun. I really, really laugh and have fun. And I make this man so uncomfortable. Unbelievably uncomfortable. So after they got done talking about the county middle school pickleball playoffs and other hard-hitting stuff like that, it was time for me to talk. I had an hour. Tyler writes, "Here's the Snickers bar. Go sit in that room and don't touch the computer. If you behave, I'll buy you a Happy Meal when I'm done." It's about how it went. This building, by the way, 77 Monroe Center, is old. And I have several times wandered away to parts unknown in the building, getting lost. Like trying to see if doors are locked or unlocked, see if I can snoop around somewhere in the basement, in the bowels of this building. Place where like Freddy Krueger would murder kids. It's incredible. They call that, wasn't that like urban exploring or something like that? I think those are in like abandoned buildings though, but the building super leaves at 5. So that gives me free reign to just explore the basement and get lost in the catacombs of this mini high-rise. Not a high-rise. It's like, 12 stories. So I wander back in there at 5 p.m. And it gets sideways, and I make him uncomfortable, which is hilarious. It actually, I don't like saying we did something funny, but I know it's funny. I know it's hilarious. He starts asking me about the pets. He goes, "How many pets you have, Zane?" I go, 6, 4 dogs, 2 cats, and a brother-in-law. And so that, as soon as we open up brother-in-law talk, you know it's going to go sideways because I start like dealing him in on what makes that scenario tick, including the talk of the temporal lobe lobotomy that took place on the man. And he's like, oh, well, you didn't tell me he's got brain damage. You can't go dogging him. I go, I'm not dogging him. I'm just, it got to be ridiculous. Now, the audio from these shows has not yet been posted. I'm going to try to do that today on the Huge Show podcast platform, and I'll direct you so you can hear this nonsense. It's ridiculous. Great fun. I really enjoyed myself. When I was talking to Bill, he has like a group of people that like own what he does. Okay, he's on a network, and there's people that are beyond my pay grade, suits and stuff like that. See, Bill was a very big supporter of me. He's always been very supportive of me for 7 years. And when the word came down some time ago, I mean, months ago or whatever, years ago, when he would bring me on from time to time, he would hear from those bigwig decision makers who would say to him, why are you bringing him on? And he tells me these things. I don't know why he tells me these things. You think I would go, oh, no, but I find it very funny. Because people have this impression that when I show up, things get bad. And it's kind of hard to argue with that. I can see where that logic would come. That thought process. Oh, no, don't do it. All right. But ended up making him unbelievably uncomfortable yesterday. And I said, hey, I'm going to post those podcasts. He goes, oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Because, you got to make the audio listenable. And, there's some hoops you got to jump through. It's on the podcast and posting it to the site. And it's very complex. And I'm going, no. Oh, okay. And in the back of my mind, I'm saying, do you realize that for the last 4 years, every day, I have done everything you just said? And it's to a point where I'm so effective and efficient at it, it's like as easy as snapping my fingers or taking a dump. There's no person that's more qualified to post a podcast than me. Are you kidding me? But I just go, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, all right, I get you. Yeah, just save it for Brett. Just have Brett do it. There's lots of big-time technical stuff that has to happen. What do you think I am? I've been doing this longer than you have. And you're like 75 years old. Holy fuck. So anyway, he says to me, okay, we're going to bring in, we're going to talk high school sports. You're going to be in the locked up in the room there like Harry Potter underneath the fucking stairs. And then the guy left a little early. Quote from Tyler, doing words of Huge. The only person who could handle this complexity would be someone who podcasts for a living. If only I knew someone like that. The guy leaves. It's now 5 p.m. Okay, you can come on back in. We can talk. And I go, oh, thank God the show's going to get interesting. In fact, I was smarting off on Facebook about that. Because right at 5, when it was done talking about the new rules in the upcoming high school sports schedule or whatever the hell, I posted a picture of Bill and I. It says, high school sports talk complete. On with Huge now. Knowing full well that was going to piss him off. And it wasn't a little bit longer after that that Billy got invited. Stick It Zane. Web clicks for listeners in hour 2 today were 5 times the clicks compared to you in studio in hour 3. Chris, who's enjoying this right now, says, so a total of 6 clicks combined. Tim writes, yeah, Bill, that's the only reason why is because we were refreshing the site waiting for Eric's witty humor to come back. Bill writes, all 3 local TV stations and every TV outlet outside of Detroit cover high school sports every night. And you've been on TV once in the last year, giving away expired Amish hams to your listeners who can't afford a meal. I know what I'm doing. Thank the Lord. There are only 2 days left. Well, technically, only 1 day. Because today, I'm going to be on the air with Bill and Jeff Risdon, who writes, he's a blogger for the Detroit Lions and USA Today. Great guy. Hang on, I got to drink this. And then he goes, but Friday, you got to be in the room again. What? Well, we're having a Michigan Insider. So what? Oh, we can't have you in there with a Michigan Insider. It's serious business. You can't be screwing around. You got to be in the room with your Snickers bar. If you behave, I'll get you a Happy Meal. You do your thing. I wonder if he's awake. He's like, okay, if you want to reach me on your show, you got to give me 2 days notice, written in 3 different sources: email, text, carrier pigeon.
Yo, what's up?
Wakey.
What are you doing?
I was just reading your crack about the Amish hams. That was great. Everybody loved it. I've gotten immediate feedback on the live chat saying, "Oh my God, the Amish hams line was great."
You know, dude, man, I will say you and your audience aren't right. That's it. I'll just be honest.
This all started when the guy said, how come you weren't on the first 2 hours? And all I said was, Bill was talking the hot high school sports topics.
No, and then all of a sudden, when you do take that photo before the final hour yesterday, you go, enough of high school sports is over. I know you. Everything you do is antagonistic. I'm not lying. Everything you say and do is a direct, either open or subliminal shot at somebody. It is.
I cannot argue. I cannot argue that.
No. It's been a great week. It's been fun, man. And I appreciate your audience listening, and I hope they enjoyed the expired Amish hams.
Oh, they love that. They love that. That was fun. I've had nothing but good times. I always love being on your show. We have a ball. Oh my God.
The thing is that I thought about this like after the show yesterday when I was driving home, that there's some tension, laughs, everything. It's kind of like being around people that it doesn't keep you up at night. It doesn't bother you. It's just like I enjoy it. And I think, like, from Jeff Striegel from Berlin Raceway, even Mark Ewell, Knuble this week, the Griffins assistant coach and the hockey legend, is that I think people walk in really unsure.
Yes.
They seemed all three have seemed nervous at the start,
Right.
when they first walked in.
Right. Now, I was just explaining to the audience that today is going to be fantastic with Jeff Risdon, West Michigan native and writer for USA Today, Lions blogger. You know, that's awesome. So who knows where that's going to go. But tomorrow I have to sit in the corner again because
well, you know, and it's not like you have the lights off in Superfly's producer studio behind the glass.
Right.
You're sitting there with your damn, ski cap on, and you do look like someone who's been punished or being held hostage in the other room. And then I loved one of your listeners' comments that photo when I was pointing looked like me telling you, get the hell out of the studio.
Go stand in the corner.
Then once in a while you look at me. And then I start to think it's like your dog's on your couch during your podcast that are like, are you going to pay any attention to us?
Exactly. And there was a couple moments from 5 to 6 when if you suddenly hear silence from Bill, it's because he's laughing. But he's usually he's somewhat uncomfortable because I started talking to him about my brother-in-law and
oh my God.
And that was a curveball because you had no idea.
Well, no, I didn't know your brother-in-law even existed until yesterday. I didn't know. Then he's living with you, and then you declared him the seventh in your animal ratings for the Zane household. You declared him seventh as an animal.
Yeah.
And then I think it's just a brother-in-law, mooching a room for a month or two, and then you start going into his, lobotomy and all this stuff. And then I'm saying, is he jacking with me? And I go,
I know you're not sure.
I'm like, I do want to apologize to people with anybody who's had a lobotomy or mental health issues.
Oh my God, it was classic.
Oh my God, no! Then you brought up me as epilepsy, which is even worse.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I was waiting for you to go, well, Bill, he has 2 hours to live.
Oh, my God. Holy shit.
I mean, because you kept going things like, I thought it was a mooching brother. You called him an animal. He's probably a pigsty in the room. You wanted him out, but he's related. He's your wife is allowing him to stay. You can't stand it. You'd rather have your 3 one-eyed cats and 1 foot, a parakeet, whatever you have.
Oh my
God.
God.
And then you go through the list. You go through the checklist that he had a lobotomy. He has epilepsy. And oh my God.
Yeah, it kept getting worse and worse. I sometimes forget. I sometimes forget the about sensitivity issues. You see, I don't really have to worry about that. So when I get into a setting where radio with mixed ears, you just don't know who's listening. I sometimes lose track of that. But
and I didn't want to I'm like, all of a sudden, I really don't care what you're saying. I'm like, hey, I didn't know he had a lobotomy. I support Epilepsy Foundation. I'm like, oh my God. I just thought he was a mooch brother-in-law living at your pad.
No, he kind of is, but he can't help it. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I know. I got all the checklist of why he can't help it now, and I don't want to revisit it.
Oh, Jesus. Well, today at 3 p.m., we start again. And,
96.1 in Grand Rapids. They can listen at thehugeshow.net or on the iHeart app. Just search The Huge Show to listen live for those tuning in across the country. And Risdon will be in studio the entire time. He'll be with us. We'll talk Lions, AFC, NFC Championship game this weekend, and the Lions offseason.
And who knows what else?
No, man. I get you like to walk out on the tightrope across the Grand Canyon, but let's just.
Well, there's like particular things that you do. Sometimes if you say something, I always try to point it out. Like the other day, you were talking about the event at Berlin, and you referred to it as a mega event. But what I heard was MAGA. And I go, it's a MAGA event. What are you talking about? And so,
hey, man, I'm not Biden at a press conference.
Yeah,
I was saying it's a big event. Right?
I know, but then it gets you flustered, which is hilarious. And then you mentioned We
It's
will.
not flustered. I just want to backhand you.
I know
That's what I
it's whatever it is. It's funny. Keep doing it because then you were talking about giving the tickets away for Monster Jam. You said we're going to mail them, and I said no, we're not. We're going to email them. And then I said mail them.
And then I think the one you caught that I don't think Striegel caught it. I think it was Striegel or Knuble. I forget. The week has gone by fast, which has been good. Is that it was things like I can't get a do-over. I'm not going to do them. I won't parachute. I won't bungee jump.
Right.
I've been offered to being in media to go with Thunderbirds or Blue Angels right along of bull crap. I'm not doing it. And then I said, I'm too big. I couldn't reach the erection seat.
Oh, that's right. That was it. Yes.
And then I quickly went ejection, and you go, what'd you say?
Wait, the what?
You went like all of a sudden you perk up like you got a dog treat for your dogs behind you on your podcast, and you go, what'd you say? I go, ejection seat.
I knew we had you.
Oh
hey,
my God.
Do you I want to get your take on morning radio in Grand Rapids. Can I name a couple shows and you can maybe tell me your thoughts?
Go ahead.
What are your thoughts on the world famous Free Beer Show?
I just think with the cast of characters they have now, it's not what it used to be. But a lot of people, don't like my show. It's how it works. I'll be honest. I listened when you were on because I really enjoyed how you're an antagonist. It's kind of like how I am to a point, publicly and privately, and I enjoyed when you were on. I think the changes in it, I have no interest to listen, but people do, and that's their choice.
Absolutely, it still does very, very well. What they just made changes on legendary radio station WLAV.
Greg Henson was a guy that when he was doing sports radio, ironically, in the same slot I'm in 96.1 in Grand Rapids, he. With his Twitter, he rips you. He's one of these dudes that, he's a tough guy on Twitter. And he's with Michelle McCormick, who actually just got back from U.S. Army Sniper School to complete her 15th go-around on that.
What? What the hell are you talking about?
She's a sniper, man. Let's be honest.
You mean she can like with a joke?
No, they're bad. You know what? The people that are too nice to you face to face are usually the worst snipers.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Tony Gates is out.
You've talked about him when Michelle and Tony, you brought it up on your podcast.
That did happen.
Yeah, and you heard them talking about you.
Yeah. As that was something that happened when I picked him up on the microphone.
Why are you stammering right now? Is there a non-disclosure?
No. I was just gonna say that I had talked about that on this show when just before I got fired, I hit a button in my studio and I could hear inside of their studio, and they were like, "Yeah, I can't believe he's getting fired." Or something like that. I
heard when I was gone, and then I think you brought it to me that they were saying, "Yeah, good riddance to Bill too."
Oh, they wanted to kick your ass.
They said after you, they said, "I can't wait for Bill to go." Or something.
Oh yeah, they wanted to beat your ass, and then you stayed in the building for like a year and a half.
Yeah, because during COVID we could come in because I was working for Michigan Sports Network, so I wasn't part of Cumulus, and we could come in, where employees couldn't during that ravaging.
Right.
Pandemic, and we couldn't. If you were an employee, you couldn't come in, and we could. So it's weird during the switch over from. Well, your success with your podcast, like I told you yesterday, has been just amazing. And then when I joined the Michigan Sports Network and Marty Boer, the last 4 years have been, to be honest, some of the funnest years I've had in radio.
If there ever is a day that radio dries up and you have closed the book on it.
Oh, me and you are going to do the greatest podcast.
Oh yeah, ever. It's a tailor-made show.
I tell people, I saw some of the comments on when I was talking about the expired Amish hams.
Right.
That, I can't do the pod because I see a microphone. I like to especially in a podcast with no rules, no FCC, none of that.
No.
It wouldn't be a good balance with my daily statewide show.
And that's smart. That's smart because, in this setting, we're going to say something that's going to catch people, and it's going to get to the ears that you don't want to hear.
No, you can't. And what you've done, even with yours, though, I'll say this, Eric. Sometimes you get a podcast, and it's like you're in Vegas for the first time, and you go crazy.
Exactly.
And then you realize you got to not hold back, be honest with your audience, entertain, do all that. But you realize every day you just can't come on like some psycho.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. That is absolutely true. You got to find a happy spot. And it definitely would come back around.
Yeah, but where I told you yesterday, what I really like about you've ripped the heck out of Trump and you've ripped the heck out of Biden.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So it goes around.
All right, now, so you got a big day planned. I'll see you in a little while. Won't be long. It's gonna be awesome. Can't wait. Everybody needs to check it out.
Yeah, 96.1 The Game in Grand Rapids, thehugeshow.net, the free stream at 3, and then if you have the iHeart app, just search The Huge Show, and you can listen live. The podcast, I know we've had a few people with Superfly, the former Lurch at Free Beer, with him off this week. The podcast will be put up Monday next week, and people can catch up, okay?
Okay.
All right, love you, Eric.
Love you too, man.
See you later. Bye.
If only you had some skills in posting podcasts, Zane, we'd be able to get those up. But it's not like, you have 2,000 podcasts posted to both your free platform and Patreon in the last 4 years. If you did, you might have some knowledge about how to post a podcast. Michigan, your opinions are next. Whatever. Daisy's snoring like a damn machine. Snoring like a machine doesn't make any sense. She's snoring like a bulldog. All right. Today, 7 p.m., the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. This is my day. This, of course. Take care of boring stuff when this is done. Patreon. Do my Patreon. Leave. Huge show. That ends at 6. I'm out at 6:01. Back here for a 7 p.m. start on the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. How about that? Busy. Cheap and sleazy. That doesn't rhyme. Busy, wet and jizzy. Tyler says, I was hoping to hear a call 866-838 huge. You know what's interesting about radio these days? You don't hear people calling in anymore. All people want to do is text. It's interesting to me. Either that or they just don't feel like it. I don't know. All right. This morning was jacked because I woke up, let the dogs out. Now, this hasn't happened in months, and this is especially common every morning where the dogs, all they want to do is eat. So they very quickly go potty, and then they're all back at the door within seconds. Bruce does not run away on us in the morning at all, ever. Now, rest of the day, I have to take him out on a leash because he will take off, and you just don't want that. But I cannot remember the last time when I had to traipse around the neighborhood looking for a dog. I was reminded of that today. We've got about 3 inches of snow on the ground. The dog was out there. It's like I let them out. I went to the boys' room. The door of the bathroom is open. I can see outside. Within seconds, mid-pee, I've got 3 dogs at the door wanting in. I have 4 dogs. So I open the door. Daisy, Bruce, Benny come in like, feed us, feed us, feed us. And I'm like, O'Neill. Maybe he's like behind the trees back there. And I'm like, it's very quiet. I don't, something's up. Right away, I'm like, So I'm scanning, looking. By the way, one of these assholes just farted, and it's really filling my brain, and I don't like it. My God. It's been a while since this has been terrible like this. So then I'm like, I don't think he's out here. I get put some food in one of the metal bowls, put another metal bowl on top of it so I can rattle and shake, make the noise of, hey, it's time to eat, asshole, wherever you are. I go in the backyard, I shake the hell out of it, nothing. I'm like, oh, fuck. It's pitch black out. Snow on the ground. I'm wearing my fucking slippers. Go to the front of the house. I go through the garage, out the service door, and I'm now in the front yard. And I look on the snow. There's tracks, and they're going like 10 directions. He's got the zoomies. I start following them, and it goes into my neighbor's yard. And I'm quite literally in the middle of his backyard. And they're inside. I know they can hear me, and I'm shaking the food bowls. Rattle, rattle, rattle. O'Neill! I'm like, oh, this is fucking terrible. So I kind of went to the middle of the yard, stood there for like 10 seconds, looked, listened, nothing. Walked back the way I came, shaking the damn thing more and more, waking up the entire neighborhood. Get up! Time to go to work, everybody! Come on! Asshole in the front yard looking for his dogs. Go into the house. There he is, at the back door. You asshole. And then I look, and I can see that he was gone because the way he returned was from an area of the yard, was down like the retaining wall. He was wandering around somewhere, and he can very easily jump up out of the retaining wall. He's got some good height hops. And so I'm like, what the fuck, O'Neill? How the fuck does that happen? I let you up for 5 seconds, and you just take off like a bat out of hell. I don't know what happened there. Oh, my God. I was freaked out. But he's back. Thank the Lord. My friends, if you're enjoying the show on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, it is time to say goodbye. If you want the rest of this show, and for future shows you don't want it to be interrupted like this, follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Follow the page, subscribe to the page, then you get the whole show with no commercial interruption. You can link up your Amazon Prime account with that, and you have to do it each and every month manually, and you are then subscribed. That's the best thing you can possibly do to help me. I actually earn income from that, and I appreciate it. But if you don't have Amazon Prime, you can always throw $5 or $6 at it and do it that way, or do nothing at all. It is up to you. If you're okay with sitting through a commercial here and there, that pays for the platform for me to use it. But that's how it works. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. If you ever want to say hello, send me an email on the Shoreliner Striping inbox, eric@ericzaneshow.com. And as always, download the audio podcast. Subscribe to my show on any one of about 1 million platforms. Spotify, Twitchers, Swatchers, Twatter, whatever. Apple Podcasts, CastBox, iHeartRadio. I'm on that too. Or iHeartMedia, whatever it is these days. I don't even know. But yeah, download the audio podcast whenever you get a minute, and you can listen to the show on demand. When you subscribe or when you follow on Twitch too, you can also watch old shows if that's what you like. Some people like watching it. That's fine too. Whatever. I don't care. Either way, getting the show in one or more than one form is very, very helpful. And I cannot forget Patreon. That is for the person who just can't get enough Eric Zane Show podcast. If you enjoy the free podcast where I throw it out there for a couple hours a day, Monday through Friday, powered by the financial support of sponsors, then sign up for my Patreon, where I've got hours and hours of content each week for you to listen to. $5 a month for the audio, new audio, and the archive. $10 a month gets you that and the video and the live streams. And you can participate on the live Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. That's Patreon. Pat, REON.com/Eric Zane. Ad-free, listener-supported Patreon. Try it for 1 month. If I let you down, cancel it. You're out $5 or out $10. No big deal. If you like it, convert it to a yearly, and I will knock 10% off of the cost. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Programming note. Typically on a Thursday, like today, Ben and I will sit down at like 6 p.m. and record Who Are These Zanes? I won't be here till 6:30. That doesn't give us enough time to record Who Are These Zanes? So, and you think, well, just do it tomorrow. Can't do it tomorrow either. I am scheduled to work as burger chef extraordinaire Eric Zane at Bosco's on Friday. So it's expected to be busy there on Friday. So if you're going there, you might have to wait a little bit, but I will be in the house by 6:30 putting on the apron Friday. All right. Plan accordingly. So what I'm getting at is we will I'll have it next week for you. I will take a week off from Who Are These Zanes? I have to. Because on the weekend, Saturday, I am driving across the state to go visit my mother's, God rest her soul, husband, my stepfather, Wally. I haven't seen Wally in quite some time. Remember Wally? Him and my mom got married about 1991, I believe. And he is doing fine. He's blind to some degree. One eye is completely dark. The other one, he still gets a little light in there. You can see somewhat. But we're going to pack up the hee-haw wagon here and go see Wally. All right, I'm kicking you all out that are on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.